Mooji says, Buddha, this one I don't know, Kovan, Shiva, Jesus, and then in brackets it says, I think Matthew 6:21, all speak of the light, as does Ramana Maharshi. They describe it as self-effulgent. Can these be enlightenment? Can there be enlightenment without light? What does the third eye see? Love and respect. I don't know if it says Tim. I'm not sure if it is what. Okay. Buddha, Kovan. Am I saying something like we know? Shiva, Jesus, in Matthew 6:21, all speaks of the light, as does Ramana Maharshi. He describes it as self-effulgent. Can there be enlightenment without light? If enlightenment, we are using this term, enlightenment means to bring light to the mind, maybe, not to the self. Because even the term guru, it means the remover of darkness, which here means ignorance, not the giver of light even. But let's speak about this light, Does the self need to be enlightened? Cannot be. It gives light to consciousness and the mind. But it itself is the source of light. But light is also a phenomenon. Light is also perceived. Space is also perceived, because it is said that amongst all the elements known to us, that space is the most subtle. And we are the perceivers of space. So something subtler also than space is here. To the extent that we can say even the perceiving of space is perceived. You cannot use your mind here. Mind will only create images, and images are gross forms, are emanating out of that. The image is itself seen. The image cannot witness itself. A cloud doesn't know it is passing. A flower doesn't know it is beautiful. To whom do they appear? This one. And this one sees them with the light of consciousness. The light that emanates from consciousness, this is revealing the forms of the creation, you see. So that is also seen. So the question, Sri Ramana, he describes it as self-effulgent. Not relying upon something else. Not relying upon something else. The moon, they say, has no light of its own. I am told this. I never could prove it. He said the moon doesn't have a light of its own, that it is reflecting only the light from the sun. This is what I'm told like that. Okay? And the sun is not depending on something else. The moon is depending on something. The moon is depending on the sun's light in order to reflect even this coolness that we enjoy. So, mind is like this moon, and mind's light is like this moonlight. It also can only reflect also the energy that's coming from the sun self is like that. And the light of the sun and the sun are one. Harmony. Like the fragrance of a flower and the flower, they are one. Not two separate things. They're like one. but the smell can come, the flower can come. And this one is saying, that which is self-effulgent. I don't think self-effulgent, I'm not sure about this term effulgent, somebody can help me. Effulgent means self-radiating. Self-radiating. Then if he speaks about a light which is self-radiating, then it can only be a metaphor for the self, not the phenomenon of light only. It must be some metaphor for self, because self is beyond light and darkness. In it, light and darkness manifest, time and space manifest through the mind and consciousness. All of these can appear, but it itself is not an appearance. What are we speaking about? You. It's not some abstract principle somewhere behind here. That's also an idea. And when you keep on looking and seeing, but everything that has form depends upon a formless seer of them somehow. All of them report back, as far back as the attention can follow. It evolves into emptiness. Everything is coming back to emptiness. You have to prove this for yourself. This is why I don't say it's a teaching. It's pointing. Look. Ultimately, can what we are be a phenomenon? And a phenomenon cannot witness itself. We say the ego is aware of itself, but what's aware of that? So that awareness somehow comes into emptiness again. And it is the experience of this that brings clarity and peace to the mind. What does the third eye see? First, the second eye and the first eye, then they are seeing only things. And the third eye is seeing what also? They call eye of intuition. What is that one seeing? Its light is understanding. That is the light of the third eye. Intuitive understanding. But what sees third eye also? Can the seer of the third eye be seen? And by whom? All these questions, they can be solved here.